So you want to build a house. Welcome to the podcast by SYWTBAH Homes. My name is Scott Daly, and my co-host here is Jackie Kowaleski.
Hey, what's going on?
And in this episode, we're going to talk about retiring in Delaware.
Yes.
Delaware has become a very poorly kept secret as a great place to retire. So we're going to do this as a very kind of practical, maybe not the most thrilling and exciting thing you're going to hear, but we're going to give you a lot of things to think about. If you're thinking about maybe retiring to Delaware, you want to stay close to your family and friends that are in states that have unbearably high taxes and costs of living. Mm-hmm. And so you can come here, and it's near the beach, and it's a wonderful place to be, and we would love to have you. But we want to give you just a few things to think about. So, Jackie, what are we talking about when we're talking about retiring in Delaware?
We are going to break it down to three things. So first off, we should talk about what's going to go through your mind when you're thinking about retiring, or what should be going through your mind. And then we're going to move on to why Southern Delaware has become such a hub for retirees. And then we're going to finish with a list of factors you may want to research, especially if you're considering retirement. And, so let's talk about some basic train of thoughts one should have when considering this next phase of life.
Right. And so, we'll go to a very 10,000 foot high level here. And I would certainly say this. First of all, listen, the most important asset that you have in your retirement is not financial. It's not your money. You're very worried about that. Can I retire? Am I going to have enough money? Am I going to run out of money in retirement? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are legitimate concerns. What you are going to run out of at some point in your life, I promise you this, is time. And so I would say this: time is actually your most important asset. So keep an eye on your money, but guard your time when it comes to retirement. Don't wait too long. Do some things that you're going to enjoy, because there are very few things in your life that you wake up every morning and have less of than you did the day before. But time is one of them. So I really want you to think about life, not just in terms of dollars, but in terms of time. Right. Time is a finite thing for all of us. We have less of it now than we did when we started listening to this podcast. And that is your most important asset. So that's something to think about.
Right. And another common thing, you talked about life, and especially for parents, when you build a new home, it's supposed to be for the people living in it.
Right. So people come down here and they say, well, I want to build a new home because maybe I've never had a new home. I've never gone through the process of building a new home. I want everything to be exactly what I picked and not what I bought.
They're excited. This is my forever home.
Right.
But then
a lot of these folks are parents. And for parents, it's very hard to think about themselves, because your life tends to be somewhat defined by the lives of your children, even your adult children. And so when you're looking at a house, we see so many people that are agonizing about how their kids are going to use the house. And we kind of want to look at them and say, hey, look, your kids are going to come down here sometime, but it's going to be you.
Right.
And so design the house for how you live. And how you live most of the time doesn't necessarily involve your kids. Give those small guest rooms for them, so when they come down, they got a free place to stay at the beach, and we'd love to have them and all that. But think a little more selfishly about your new home in Delaware if you're going to retire down here.
Right. And, talking about what you should be thinking about, how you're going to live your life, and what retirement isn't necessarily a vacation.
Right. So a lot of people think, well, I'm not working. And for so many years you worked, and when you weren't working, you were on vacation. Well, now you're not working. Only you're not going back to work, but you're not on a permanent vacation. It's not a break from everyday life. It becomes everyday life. So don't look at it as like a break or a vacation. Look at it in terms of it is a season of life. And there needs to be a long conversation that is had over a period of time about what your life is going to look like. You're going to move. If you move to Delaware, you may or may not know a lot of people that are here, so you're going to be meeting new people, and you're going to have a completely different routine for your life. And I think you want to talk through that before you make that jump.
Absolutely. And it actually leads well into our next one. So our second topic is why Southern Delaware has become a retirement destination, and we came up with 4 subtopics that contribute to why people pick Southern Delaware. So location, weather, lifestyle, and cost of living, which let's focus on the first 3. because those kind of allow people to partake in activities that they want to do. So location.
Location. So it's a great place to allow you to stay connected to the people in your life that you care about. So life is not just about what you do, but it's about relationship and who you're connected to in life. And
Right.
so Delaware is a day's drive anywhere from Richmond to New York City, which covers tens and tens and tens of millions of people. And so it allows you to be far enough away that you have some space and you gave them some space. It's close enough that you can still be connected to them.
Right.
So
FaceTime can only go so far.
FaceTime is wonderful, but it is limited.
Right. And it's not just, for family relationships, but if you're interested in the cities, it's only a day's trip to 5 different cities.
Right. People day trip DC, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and come back and, sleep in their own bed and
Right.
have a wonderful time. New York City's, it can be done. It's a long day. But
Yeah. And so location, then we have weather. Weather's great.
the weather's great. So you get 4 solid seasons here. I think, honestly, the best season at the beach is the fall because you still have the warm weather, but you don't have all of the summertime crowds. The winters here tend to be a little more mild than everywhere else, and the fall and the spring are beautiful. And of course, it's summer at the beach, so which is a wonderful thing.
Right. And that goes into our third subtopic, which is lifestyle.
Right. So this is a change of pace. One of the things that a lot of folks that are from big cities or the suburbs around the big cities don't realize is if you're moving to Southern Delaware, you're moving to a small town. And small towns are different than large towns.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up outside of Washington, D.C., and I've lived here for a while, and it's different. I like it here better, but don't expect everything to look like Washington, D.C. or the Philly metro area or anything like that. It's a small town. It's a different lifestyle, and you want to be able to embrace that lifestyle.
Right. I mean, we might not have a target, but there are other things that people find absolutely charming about this
Right.
area.
And they do have Amazon. They have
That's
this
true.
thing, the internet exists here
2019?
at the beach, and but that's real, and you have to understand it is going to be a change of pace. So
Right. And then another thing that can't be ignored, which is our fourth subtopic of why Southern Delaware has become such a great destination for retiring is cost of living.
yeah, so the cost of living here a lot of times is a lot lower than the metropolitan areas that surround it, and that's great because you're going into retirement. There's a chance that your annual income is going to drop when you stop working. And so it allows the financial planning to be a lot easier if you move
Right.
to a place that costs less on a monthly basis to live. Property taxes are very low in Sussex County. They haven't reassessed the property taxes since 1974. There's no sales tax in Delaware except on a very select items, but the politicians would say there's no sales tax. But there kind of is on a few things like cars and houses and stuff, big stuff.
Yeah, but when you order from a menu, you get exactly what
Right,
you
and
see.
it-
And I love that.
Yeah, and when we go to other states and they're like, you order something that's 99 cents, they're like $1.06, and you're like,
Oh, come on.
really?
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah. So here, 99 cents is
Right. We just don't eat in any other state.
99 cents. Why would you eat anywhere else? They have this thing called the Culinary Coast. We have some incredible restaurants
Oh, yeah.
that you can eat as well here as you can in any large city with both the quality and the diversity. And usually you can do it for a lot less money.
Yeah. And so if you move anywhere, you're going to want to do research. And we kind of put together a little list that you can maybe adapt if you want. And the first one's healthcare.
Right. So let's talk about some uncomfortable stuff about aging. Is the reality for most people is that the older you get, the more important healthcare is going to get. And the vast majority of the investment that you're going to make in your own healthcare is going to be made closer in the later years of your life, closer to the end of your life. And so you want to be able to make sure that if you move down here and you have specific health needs, that those needs can be addressed. You
Yeah.
want to make sure that if you have to get back to the doctors who've been treating you where you are currently living, that is, feasible. The healthcare is going to become important. It becomes important for just about everyone in their lives at some time, and it usually comes on suddenly. So in the Milford area, which is about 20 miles north of the Lewis Rehoboth area, there's a brand new hospital that just opened in February of 2019.
Big hospital.
Big hospital, huge facility. There's a lot of healthcare options here that are growing because the population is growing, that weren't available, only a year, 2 years ago. So, but that is a hugely important part of your research in coming down here. Even if you're thinking, hey, I'm healthy now, I don't have any problems. And it's like, well, look, that's awesome. And we hope that doesn't change.
Right.
But
just be aware. Do your research. Take care of yourself. And we only mentioned that hospital because it's brand new. There are plenty of other resources.
Right.
You have a hospital right in Lewis. You have different branches of doctors. It's something we could go on and on about, but it's an area where you'll have plenty to read through.
And that's also a very personal select decision that you need to research yourself. So
exactly.
What else?
We've got a predictable future.
Right. So the other unfortunate thing that comes with aging sometimes is a loss of mobility. And so what you'd find here from just about all the builders, but specifically Statera Homes, is you're going to find all of our plans have first floor master suites.
Right.
And all of our plans are designed to make easy accommodations for people that might have some mobility restrictions. Like if you need to be in a wheelchair or something like that, you want to start thinking through a house where you can continue to stay in that house even as you age, even if your mobility becomes impaired.
Right, smart. You just want to be comfortable as long as you can.
Right. The longer you can stay in your house, the better quality of life you're going to have, and the longer your life is going to be. And so these are questions that you want to talk to a builder if you're thinking about building a new house is, how is this house designed to accommodate issues for mobility, or how can it be made?
Right. It's so important.
Right. And it's very easy to do when you're building new, very hard to go back and fix.
Right.
So that's something to think about.
Well, next we have leisure and recreation. We kind of spoke about how you want to think about what you're going to do. It becomes everyday life, not a vacation. And our area we have plenty to do.
Right. There's all kinds of,
oh my gosh,
theater and the arts.
We have, there's a website that I even go on because people ask me, what is there to do around here? It's called visitsouthernde.com. And it has all the surrounding towns. Depending on where you live, you're not going to be bored because it gives you all the calendar events. We're talking art shows. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm stumped.
There's a lot. Just
say?
about
Film
every
festivals.
weekend. Yeah.
There's websites about food specials, different types of farmers markets.
Right.
We have trails. We have the state park. We have the ocean, the bay. I mean, inlet. There's a million things to do.
So people that move down here end up saying that they have a very active, busy lifestyle.
Right.
And a lot of times, a lot of folks even will still get part-time jobs, which are available. It's one of the great assets in this area is that you have very experienced professional people that are retiring down here, and they'll take part-time jobs, or they will volunteer with organizations and lend a career and a life full of experience, which is wonderful. But it's something that you want to think through. Okay, we're going to move to a new town, and we're not going to have full-time jobs, and we're not going to have kids to take care of. What are we going to do?
Yeah, how do we want to spend our time?
Yeah, and then make sure that how you decide you want to spend your time is available here. Like if you want to spend your time rock climbing and hang gliding, if that's your thing in retirement, you're going to be really frustrated at the Delaware beaches because it's flat here. We're near the ocean.
Well, we had someone come in, right? We had someone ask about, or she said she was a rock climber.
Yeah, and we're like, honey, what are you doing here?
Yeah, Delaware's not the best choice.
Go to
I love that she does that. That's amazing.
It is.
But you can only be so satisfied with a gym rock wall.
And I'm actually afraid of heights.
It's not about you, Scott.
Yeah, but rock climbing scares me.
No, you've got what? You got those wire things.
Right. That you've got that harness, and that person below who has your life in their finger, hopefully they're not on their phone while they're supposed to be, belaying you or something.
Well, Deneen usually does it.
Right, that's my wife. But what you'll find out is that I don't actually rock climb. So the people that belay me are no one, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
How do you know you don't like it if you've never tried?
Because I have tried it. And I like being close to the earth.
Well, good. Southern Delaware is a perfect place for you.
Right, it is. because
There's a bunch to do.
you can boat, and boating is close to the earth.
Right.
So
And
anyway, there's a lot to do.
Yeah,
so.
and if you're talking to different home builders down here, mostly everyone will give you plenty of information. And you should absolutely ask, what is there to do around here?
What is there to do?
This is what I like to do. What can I get involved in? So the next thing we have, impact on income. We kind of talked about taxes. I don't know if we want to go into that a little more.
Well, so there are things that are specific to Delaware, like if you're going to want to talk to someone and think about some estate planning, wills and trusts and things like that. If you're moving to a new state, they're going to need to be updated. Delaware's income tax its income tax is not that much lower than a lot of the surrounding states, but it's pretty pension and Social Security friendly. And that's not where you're going to save money. Where you're going to save money is in the property tax, in the sales tax, and generally in the price of real estate is going to be much lower. And so, that's something to think through. But you have worked and acquired some assets over your life, and you want to make sure that you are talking to professionals that can help you best preserve those assets for you and maybe for loved ones after you.
Right.
So that's an important thing.
Yeah, and that's what it wraps us up. And the reason why we talked about all of this is because this is still an exciting chapter. I mean, you want to be happy. You want to be prepared.
Right, and this is the fun time.
Yeah.
So come down here and realize time's your asset, and come and enjoy this area. There's a lot to enjoy here. It is a really exciting place. It's growing. There's a lot of folks that are retiring down here, and they're meeting new friends, and they're having a blast. And a lot of people are choosing to build new homes. And some people think the process of building a new home is scary, and I would say it's only if it's scary, you're dealing with the wrong builder.
Right.
That your builder should be able to help you feel comfortable and make that process as exciting and stress-free as possible. And a lot of that comes down to trust. And so we're all about people making informed decisions at SYWTBAH Homes. We want you to make an informed decision about a new home. We think the more you know and understand that, the more you're going to be able to make a better decision. And we think you're going to like what we're trying to do for people as a home builder, but we also think you need to be informed about the area before you can start talking about builders.
Absolutely.
So that's why we're talking about this, and you're not alone. There's a lot of folks that are looking at Delaware. So
right, and it doesn't just ask questions. If you need more research, just take the time and look into it. You won't be sorry.
That's right, and you'll feel a lot better about the decision that you made.
Right.
So this has been the So You Want to Build a House podcast by SYWTBAH Homes. I'm Scott Daly.
And I'm Jackie Kowaleski. And
we look forward to talking to you more in our next episode. So You Want to Build a House is brought to you by SYWTBAH Homes. SYWTBAH Homes is a craft home builder in southern Delaware. This builder finds value in working with you to build a home that is the perfect fit for your lifestyle. SYWTBAH truly sets themselves apart from other builders in the area. To find out more, visit their website, www.SYWTBAHhomes.com. That's STATERAHOMES.com. Or call their model home at area code 302-329-8881. That's 302-329-8881. Music from this podcast was by the band Defining Parallel from their recent single, Painted Lives. Thank you for listening to So You Want to Build a House. To stay updated on the most recent episodes, subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you found it to begin with, or check out SYWTBAH Homes' website, which is again www.STATERAHOMES.com. homes.com. Thank you very much.